What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the recording. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I don't know if you are still keeping up with the Disney Mandalorian series. It's a show that I decided I was done with after the ouster of Gina Carano, but it's still a show that many people like. At least a lot of people kind of stuck around, waiting, giving it a chance. After replacing Gina Carano, though, now kind of unofficially this season, more people than ever are tuning out. In fact, the ratings are completely tanking, and they've gone full desperation mode last night, bringing on what was the weirdest, cringest ensemble desperation move I've seen, where they brought on Jack Black and Lizzo. I'm not kidding. It's like when they did the She-Hulk thing with whatever, the Megan Thee Stallion or whoever it was on there. It's just to buy Twitter shine for a show that is floundering in ratings. And I'm not even saying that The Mandalorian is objectively a bad show. I really liked the first season. I really thought they did a really good job. But they've certainly been floundering, flip-flopping around. And when we look at some of the numbers and some of the reaction to last night's episode, it's not painting a great picture for the future of the show. We're going to get all that after a super quick word from this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2023. If you don't have a VPN, you're missing out on a ton of benefits. Not just a more secure connection, but if you're paying for Netflix, Disney Plus, or any other streaming service, you're already getting locked out of a ton of additional content that you could be enjoying if you used a VPN. And since they've been sponsoring the channel so long, they've rolled out a massive discount for my viewers. That's right, 84% off plus 4 months free. It's $2.03 a month, 4 months free, 84% off. Private Internet Access also offers privacy on all your devices, lightning fast global server network. And look, outside of all the additional content you're going to be able to view out there using Private Internet Access, it also has a strict no logs policy. It's open source. It has state-of-the-art updates. It's instant to set up. You can put it on all of your devices, your tablet, your computer, your mobile phones. It has unlimited bandwidth and so much more. If you don't have a VPN yet, make today the day. Use my link in the description to get Private Internet Access, start being more secure, and unlock loads more content. Now, this article via Sportskeeda, The Mandalorian Season 3 ratings signal worrying future for Disney. Disney Star Wars has been facing challenges in recent years, and despite the initial buzz around the popular shows like The Mandalorian and the return of Luke Skywalker, the excitement has waned. This has been further compounded by lackluster reception to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and the Book of Boba Fett. Well, I just think people are kind of over it. I'm not saying it's like The Mandalorian isn't objectively bad like She-Hulk was, or like Velma, for example. It's just not very good anymore. It feels like they've kind of lost their way and they're grasping at straws. This week's episode was just bad, very bad. Now that the ratings for The Mandalorian Season 3 are finally available, it's evident that viewership has significantly declined compared to previous season. The decline could be a major cause for concern for Disney Star Wars as it raises questions about the franchise's future projects. The Mandalorian Season 3 has experienced a significant drop in viewership compared to Season 2. Reports indicate that the show's total minutes viewed dropped by 200 million, representing a decline of 20%. This trend concerns Disney, as The Mandalorian is their flagship show that helped launch Disney Plus. Even the excitement generated by the return of Luke Skywalker in the Season 2 finale did not carry over to the third season. According to initial reports from Samba TV, The Mandalorian Season 3 has experienced a 20 to 25% decline in viewership compared to the previous season. Nielsen's weekly viewership numbers also confirmed a significant decrease in viewership for the season premiere compared with last season. This is surprising given the growing popularity of the streaming service and the anticipation surrounding on the show's last season. The reasons behind the drop in viewership remain unclear. I have some ideas, but some speculate that it may be due to the lack of buzz and promotion leading up to the premiere, or that the storyline may not be as engaging for viewers as previous seasons? Well, I would argue that, there's a lot of reasons. You see this, The Mandalorian sees a huge drop in viewers for season 3 premiere. The Mandalorian season 3 debut logged disappointing viewer numbers, but there's more to it than a simple drop in interest. Here's the thing. What caused the slump? This is according to MovieWeb. There are always complaints about various franchise fatigue starting to creep into some Disney properties. Most frequently, it's in the MCU that comes under fire for releasing too many TV shows and movies in a short period of time. That's also applied to Star Wars. When The Mandalorian made its Disney Plus debut, it was new, it was fresh, it was the only Star Wars TV show out there. In the years since, Lucasfilm released a number of animated shows along with live-action series The Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, and The Promise of More in the forms of Ahsoka and the Skeleton Crew. However, there's another factor to be considered for the low viewership. There is a choice of release date for the start. Both The Mandalorian's previous seasons arrived towards the end of the year that made their debut on Friday rather than a Wednesday. This means they capture a 4-day date included the weekend. Sure. I mean, it's possible, but you see here, Bo-Katan push responsible. The Mandalorian Season 3 viewership tanks by 200 million minutes. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, it's, they really, really want a strong independent woman who don't need no man. And she's kind of become a central actor now. And when you look at, it's like as a show gets older and grows, the viewership is supposed to go up. Katie Sackhoff plays the role of Bo-Katan, who was first introduced in the second season of the show. The character had grown to be the prominent one in second season, with her story focusing on dominantly. With Bo-Katan in the lead, Din had taken a back seat, and Grogu is seen busy with the mission to save Jin. While Grogu happens to be the Mandalorian foundling, in Season 3, Bo-Katan is seemingly becoming the headline character if she can unite the scattered clans of her people. I think that this is a bigger deal. I think that the character doesn't maybe hit as hard. People like the Mandalorian. People like Jin. People like Grogu, but Grogu is still just kind of a gag. He's not exactly like, his storyline is, it's weird. Ending near. This says the giant freaking robot said, Mandalorian's seen a nearly 40% drop in viewership since the season 2 finale. They're reporting an even bigger drop. That's interesting. The Mandalorian suffered roughly 20% drop from the average number of minutes viewed during season 2, and a 40% drop from the season finale. That's not great. You had such a huge season finale, and now you have about half as many people tuning back in. Not great. You see here, Nielsen revealed during the week of Mandalorian Season 3 premiere, February 27th through March 5th, the show was only viewed 823 million minutes. It was only good for 5th on the weekly charts behind Outer Banks, Murdaugh Murders, Southern Scandal, The Last of Us, and NCIS. The show did place 3rd on Nielsen's original streaming chart between Outer Banks, which drew over 2.21 billion minutes. Wow, Outer Banks. I should be watching that. Is it any good? The Last of Us is classified as an acquired property by Nielsen, so it rates differently, You see, there are interesting things. You have a lot of binge watching that comes in. You have a lot of, interesting, perhaps other reasons why this may be. But you see, in their most recent quarterly report for the first quarter of fiscal year 2023, the Walt Disney Company reported that it had a total of 161.8 million Disney Plus subscribers. However, in the new report, they indicated that they only have 46.6 million subscribers in the United States and Canada, another 57.7 internationally, for a total of 104.3 million Disney Plus core subscribers. On top of these core subscribers, they have another 57.5 Disney Plus Hotstar subscribers. Interestingly, the report indicated that the domestic subscribers declined by 200,000 compared to the previous quarter. I think that a lot of this pushback on kind of the woke stuff is happening here, mostly in the United States. So that's why they're able to stem it off, you know? You can see here, Chapter 9, The Marshal receiving an 8.8 review last season, and then in contrast, Season 3 premiere. But that was the premiere, by the way, an 8.8. This premiere receiving just a 7.5 and about half as many reviews. It's interesting when you look at the comments. It's interesting. There's a lot of like hardcore Star Wars fans, not loving it. You can see this. It's turning into the Grogu show. Talk about milking a character until people who liked Grogu are starting to get sick of him. I would love it if someone did a spoof video of him getting drop kicked. And then let's look at what we're seeing a lot of the internet's reaction to the weird cameos in this late season. Now, I'm not going to play the clip because I don't want to pay Disney money, but you see, people from the Critical Drinker here. Not going to lie, I'm pretty glad I called it quits after season 2 in The Mandalorian, quits on The Mandalorian a few weeks ago. I mean, what happened? Is this meant to be Saved by the Bell Star Wars edition? What? I should have quit Mandalorian sooner. Certain things you just cannot unsee. That's real. I thought they were watching some sort of fan fiction mashup, but it's just not getting the joke. I mean, it's, it's insane. Her acting sounds like she's reading cue cards or was called on to read in class. I don't understand why Disney does this. I personally thought Andor was great. For everything they do right, they do 890 things wrong. This is prequel levels of garbage. I mean, these are your former viewers. And you have like, why? You bring in Lizzo and Jack Black? And Jack Black is relatively inoffensive, but this reeks of desperation. Why do you have Lizzo even on here? It's so weird. And then you also have Christopher Lloyd, which, I don't know, I care less about him cameoing. But I mean, Lizzo? Are you desperate? Is you that desperate for viewerships that you're going to bring Lizzo in? You see Raging Rhino tweeting, "This is the worst Star Wars I've ever seen. Jon Favreau and Bryce Dallas Howard, you should be ashamed and embarrassed for making this garbage. If you thought Grogu jumping was an embarrassing scene, check this out." And it was not very good. Grogu getting knighted was the least embarrassing thing that happened in that episode, and that's saying a lot. What did he even get knighted for? He did nothing the whole episode. She just knights him for no reason. Sean Fitzgerald, well-known internet short man, writes, "This looks so cheap. Is this normal for Disney Star Wars?" I mean, I think that all these decisions that Disney has made are indeed coming back and biting them a little bit. It'll be interesting to see. Have you given up on The Mandalorian? Are you still charging through? How many more seasons do you think that they can squeeze out of this? It'll be interesting to see, but they're certainly jumping the shark, I think, here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.